Week 8 of high school football has seen the action whittled down to just 3 leagues that are still playing. That includes the North Puget Sound League 4A, where Kennedy continues its march for an unbeaten season. Kentridge trying to play spoiler. Mason Hayes gets sacked by Julius Walker after the bad snap. Give the Chargers a lot of credit. They didn't lay down in this one. They put together a nice drive in the first. Jaden Smith with a 3-yard touchdown to put Kentridge up 7-6. It's one of the few times Kennedy has trailed after one quarter all season long. They started making moves after that paid off. Hayes with a nice strike to Lamont Richardson down to the 1-yard line. Next play, Leland Ward finishes the drive to start the second quarter, 12-7 Lancers after a missed 2-point conversion. Following a 3-and-out, Kennedy got the ball back and went right back to the end zone. The slant to Richardson, all Kennedy from there as they roll 54-7. Another Thursday game had Auburn visiting Federal Way in the NPSL 3A in a game that was more arena football than prep football. Federal Way up by 2 in the second quarter. Corey Quinn on the Wildcat airs it out. Jatavius McGee shows what good concentration can do. 53 yards on the touchdown. Eagles up by 8. Didn't matter. Auburn uses a variation of the run and shoot, and they did lots of running and lots of shooting. Amari Goodfellow finds his brother Jalon Goodfellow. 59 yards on the touchdown and a 2-point conversion tied the game up. Not every play was a touchdown, but nearly every play was. Quinn gets picked off by Latabrion Chandler. The return good for the Trojans, but it was nullified by a penalty, and it cost them. Another penalty nullified a touchdown, and it hurt Auburn bad because the next play after that was another interception. Goodfellow picked off by Quinn. Eagles going back the other way. Federal Way takes the next drive right down to the end zone. Stefan Falatogo finds just enough room to get across the line. Auburn does one better. Walks right back down the field. Goodfellow to Goodfellow again. Ball comes out after he made it over to the end zone. After some discussion, they say it's a touchdown. 26 yards, gave Auburn a 2-point lead. Haymakers basically going both directions in this one. Tyler Ma'alona with the fake and keep from 2 yards out. The teams combined for 109 points in the game, but Auburn came up short as Federal Way wins a wild one, 65-44. Sticking with 3A, the Metro League semifinals kicked off Friday with Oday meeting Eastside Catholic, a rematch from their opening week when the Crusaders blanked Oday 20-0. Jason Brown slips out of the pack, 23 yards to give the Fighting Irish a 14-0 lead early. Eastside Catholic had trouble matching that early momentum. Kobe Moisau was in big trouble. He gets picked off by Hayden McDonald. Oday would add a field goal and end up going up 17-0. Eastside Catholic's defense would start to get a handle on Oday's run game. Brown gets dropped for a 6-yard loss, and it was defense that gave the Crusaders that win in the first matchup. But this time, the Irish got a little bit more pressure, especially in the backfield. Eastside Catholic's offense didn't start to click until late in the first half. They had a shot to put points on the board before the break, but Moisau's pass hauled in by David DeMenzies for another interception. Oday advances to the Metro League title game next week with a 31-14 win. In the other Metro semifinal, top seed Seattle Prep was also looking for revenge. They matched up with Ballard, who handed Prep a loss back in the opening week. The Panthers' only loss this season. A touchdown run from Elijah Va'auli Buchanan spotted the Panthers at 10-0 lead. Ballard stayed on the ground with the offense. Sam Crocker with a 4-yard score. Beavers won the early season matchup by just a point, so you knew this one was going to be close as well. Jake Sipe and Braden Smith have been the passing combo that led Seattle Prep in this late season run. Same result here, 51 yards and a touchdown for the Panthers. But most of the second quarter belonged to Ballard. Ryan Blocker to David Waters, holds on tight in traffic for the touchdown. Beavers would force a punt on the next drive. Then they put together a nice drive of their own on offense again. Blocker, nowhere to throw. He just gets over the line for another touchdown, puts Ballard in the lead. But Prep had all the answers in this one. Va'auli Buchanan with a great grab for 6, gets the leg down just in time. Seattle Prep holds on to win. They'll face Oday next weekend. Kinko 2A wrapped up its season in Tukwila, where it was senior night for Foster High School, and they wasted no time going out on a high note as they hosted Lindbergh. Preston Saoli with the sack to to stall the Eagles' opening drive. The Bulldogs' running game controlled this one pretty much from the start, and the offensive line was a big key why. Josh Saole-Favor goes 20 yards for the opening score. Saole-Favor was everywhere on offense, and he wasn't bad on defense either. High points the ball on the interception, gets a nice return back to the end zone, but a penalty on the play cost him a touchdown. Didn't really matter much because the following drive ended up back in the end zone anyway. Saole-Favor, this time from 15 yards out, it was 14-zip Foster. Lindbergh had chances on offense, but Foster's defensive line gave quarterback Blake Dompier a lot of problems. Kafi Patai-Fanua with the blindside sack. Jordan Mua recovers it for the Bulldogs. On offense, Renat Mamikanyan didn't make many mistakes at quarterback, but he did make one. Ball hangs up in the air, and Cornelius Grushke makes the interception for Lindbergh. Mamikanyan would make up for it in the second quarter. Great O-line play allows for the easy quarterback keeper. Foster finishes 3-1 on the season with a 49-9 win. Back to the North Puget Sound League, and Kentlake had a chance to move into a tie atop the 3A standings if they could beat Auburn Mountain View. Falcons up 7-6 in the second half, and Cade Bodine takes advantage of a broken play, good for 48 yards up the middle and then to the right, out of bounds, finally at the 7-yard line. That set up a touchdown for the Lions. Bodine to Landon Bowser, 2-point conversion after that made it 14-7 Mountain View. We thought that might spark some offense from both teams, but not the case. Auburn Mountain View and Kentlake very well known for defense. Keanu Mailoto goes nearly unblocked and in for the sack. And Kentlake's defense spent plenty of time in the backfield too. Atticus Smith with back-to-back sacks on back-to-back snaps. It remained a 7-point game into the fourth quarter. But turnovers, sacks, tackles for loss kept the Falcons from taking the lead. The ball squirts out, and Berkeley Alfrey recovers the fumble for Auburn Mountain View. They had a chance to put the game away. Fourth down when Bodine goes to the end zone, but a turnover on downs as Jai Dela Cruz breaks up the pass for the Falcons. Kentlake takes it the other way, but Nate Beck gets sacked by Alfrey on third down. Beck was injured, had to leave the game. One last chance on fourth down, and Tegan Child breaks up the pass. The goal line stand gives the Lions a 14-7 win and clinches the NPSL 3A division. Kentwood still has a slim chance at a co-title in the NPSL 4A, but they couldn't afford a slip-up against Tahoma at French Field on Saturday. Quarterback Jackson Proctor's arm played a big role for Kentwood in the game, but his legs were an even bigger factor. A nice scramble on the early drive led to an early touchdown and a 7-0 lead. The Bears offense moved the ball nearly at will, but turnovers hurt them. Michael Palandri gets stripped inside the 5-yard line, and red zone turnovers will kill you. Dominic Kramer comes away with the fumble recovery, but the Conquerors taketh and also giveth away. 2 plays later, Proctor loses the handle in his own end zone. Justin Ketzenberg gets the easy recovery for a touchdown to tie the game up. Tahoma began to control the pace. Palandri drives the offense into the red zone again, and this time he finishes. No turnover here, 8 yards on the keeper to give the Bears the lead. His arm could get the job done as well. Dylan Shipley laying out, hauls in the touchdown, 34 yards, and Tahoma led this one 21-10 at halftime. The Conks defense would eventually buckle down in the second half, and in the end, it was Proctor's legs that were the difference. He ran for a pair of touchdowns. Conks get past the Bears 37-35. For more scores, visit KIRO7.com.